Hi, and welcome to Mind the Millennial Gap. My name is Chris, and I'm an elder millennial.
And my name is Jillian, and I'm a younger millennial.
And together, we discuss topics from our viewpoints across the different ends of millennialism.
And we are so happy to have you here with us.
Hey, Gigi.
Hi, Chris.
How's your week?
It was good. It was really good. It was excellent. It was one of the best weeks. It was good.
Okay. I can't wait to talk about it.
Okay.
However, from last week, I've been waiting all week. All week to ask you, just for this episode, just for this moment of time.
Ooh.
What's the best trauma-rama that you read this week?
Oh, okay. Oh, man. That's a really good question.
While Gigi thinks of this, if you didn't pick up a prior episode to this episode, there was a segment in Teen 17, Vogue, all of the targeted magazines of the time. It was Trauma-rama, and you tell a story anonymously on yourself about your trauma.
So do you want to know the best one I read that happened to someone else, or the best my own trauma-rama of the week?
I mean, dealer's choice. I was asking you maybe one that you read about someone else.
Oh, I don't know if I read any. I don't know. I was very occupied last week.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. I don't know if I read any. Sorry.
Okay.
That's a boring answer.
Trauma-rama this week, okay?
Okay, I will seek out some trauma-rama this week. Just for you. Just for this.
All right. So.
Wait, Chris.
What's that?
What's the most millennial thing that happened to you this week?
Oh, the most millennial thing. Hold on one sec.
Yeah, we are really out of practice from like many weeks off.
We've
like way lost the flow.
Most millennial thing. Let's see here. I don't know. I made avocado toast this weekend.
You should brag. So, our dear friend, Sarah, Dr. Sarah, I don't think she's a doctor. Dr. Bowman is her husband. Sarah is a social worker, Sarah. She was on one of our episodes earlier last year, so please go give that a listen. And she was here this weekend, which was the most wonderful, wonderful, wonderful thing. And Chris, on Sunday morning, made us ricotta scrambled eggs, which, like, if you say those things in your head, it sounds gross to me, but then you actually eat them in real life, and you're like, wow, these are delicious. They just make them little pillowy clouds of amazing. And some avocado toast with hot honey and, like, red pepper flakes. It was bougie as heck, Chris, and delicious. So, yeah, you served up that breakfast with avocados.
I do like to cook.
Very good at it.
So if anyone ever comes and visits, I will cook for you. How's that?
I love it.
Okay. So when it's my week, I kind of constantly think about a little bit more of the social issues or some of the other things that pertain to our millennial experience. But I had to just pause everything. No thoughts, no research, no looking anything up. Because everyone. Jillian had one of the most unbelievable Hollywood-esque life movie experiences this weekend. And we are here to talk about it. That's right. We are here to talk about the mystery of Jillian figuring out how to have the most amazing Taylor Swift weekend ever. I was going to say some details, and then I was like, no, we're going to save it all for the story. Gigi, would you care to lead out with a preamble of anything? Because I am going to take you through one of the most unbelievable journeys. And if it wasn't documented, I wouldn't believe it myself.
I'm just going to say, everyone involved in the story feels very, very lucky and very, very grateful that this happened. Just kind of a big thank you, universe, to that publicly, because we feel really happy and grateful.
So, for the record, Jillian was one of the lucky folks that was able to secure tickets to a prior show in the Taylor Swift World Domination Tour.
Yes.
And she went through the hassle of waiting in queues and all of the things that a lot of people experience. It was very fortunate to have those tickets. So you went to opening weekend, right?
I went to opening weekend in Glendale. Yeah. Yep. I did have priority because I had Loverfest tickets, which apparently like made it more likely. But it was in our group of, I think there were like 10 people spread in between two groups, maybe more.
Mm-hmm.
I think there were 3 codes between everyone, and people had priority too. So wild. That was crazy.
Okay. Take us to the genesis of this journey. What set all this up? Because you had no plans of going to Taylor Swift again. Like no real plans. You've gone, and you, like many other, probably watch TikToks of her every weekend.
Yes. So, when I figured out we were going to be living near Seattle by the time she came back around, of course, I was like, oh, that would be so fun to go see her again. However, I was like, I had such a great time. I won't know anyone in Seattle, and I don't really want to go alone. I know Chris would have gone with me, and that would have been wonderful. But like, also, I don't know. I kind of like my girly time. And, like, that's such a girly thing. He's already taken me to the Barbie movie, which I really appreciate. Didn't want to like double down on that. So I was like, I was absolutely fine going down by myself and just hanging out in front of the stadium, and just. There are some places where parties are happening or people are gathering. So I was great just going down and having that be a thing, maybe going to one of the like themed bars for the week. All good things. But Thursday night, 2 Thursdays ago, so T-minus 9 days to the Taylor Swift concert, I get a call from our beloved Sarah Brothers, who we spoke about being on the podcast earlier. She's wonderful. We've been friends for 12 years at this point. Truly one of my favorite people, and I'm just obsessed with her and her entire family. She calls me and she's like, "Hey, are you planning on getting tickets to Seattle?" Because I've been like, "Oh yeah, maybe," like at one point, right? Thinking about it, I was like, "Oh, like yeah, if they're really cheap, I'll go. But if not, like I was planning on just being outside." And she's like, "Okay, but like, what if I fly out and we try to get tickets?" Like, so we plan.
So everyone, 9 days. 9 days prior to a concert that has been sold out. I imagine Seattle's been sold out for what, 9 months?
Yes, since you bought tickets, every ticket was sold out. Yeah. So.
And so in 9 days, you all are going to hatch this scheme and put this out into the universe in hopes that maybe something comes out of it.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just leaving that there because this thought, because I know where this thing finishes, this thought right here is so pure and true. And I can't ever form a thought like that for some reason.
I love it.
So 9 days. What ifs? The what ifs are being discussed over the phone.
To live for the hope of it all, really and truly. That is a Taylor Swift lyric, Chris. You did not respond to that, and I realized. Not a Swiftie. So 9 days, yeah. So she buys 3 one-way tickets.
On that first day that
on that first day, spoke. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yep. Cleared it with the homies. Everyone said, "Yep, Sarah's cool."
Mm-hmm.
Bought tickets. 3 one-way tickets. One of them was on Spirit Airways. And she was like, "Okay, here are the times I get in." She's like, "It's going to be a tight 36 hours." She gets in at 5:30 on Saturday night. So the first concert was Saturday night at 6. It started at 6:30.
Okay, so give yourself a whole hour.
So give yourself a whole hour to get down there.
To get to the concert. Without any plans of getting into the
Without
concert.
any tickets, yeah. Or we could try for Sunday night at 6:30. And Sarah was flying out at 5:45 the next morning, and we live an hour away from the airport. So we were like, okay.
Yeah, that
way,
sounds like a plan. Let's do this.
We are going to figure this out. It's going to be great. So it was a tight 36. But it was the best 36.
Okay. So tickets are purchased.
Yes.
Reconnaissance starts. So take us through the network of thoughts and the network of internet searches.
So Sarah is nothing if not resourceful. And oh my goodness, girl found TikToks on like how Ticketmaster does their additional drops. And then started researching like who has really reliable ticket resale sites.
Okay, so take everyone through that Ticketmaster, what is potentially folklore.
Fair enough. Okay, so Taylor Swift has this like great stage. It's like multi-shape piece, everything. And what's been happening is the concert is like sold out, and then Ticketmaster is the original ticket seller. Once her stage comes and gets built out, and they have like a sound check, then Ticketmaster figures out how many other seats they can put in and opens those seats up to verified fans who tried to get in the first time.
Think this through.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift's stage, by all accounts that I've resourced, TikTok, takes up the better part of a NFL football field.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's huge.
So it's a big piece of equipment,
yeah.
I guess. And because they need dimensional, I guess, flexibility,
mm-hmm.
they don't necessarily create every row on the floor in front of the stage. Like, that is the key piece of this.
Yes, that is the key piece of this whole story. And also, because her stage is very tall, a lot of the tickets with, like, obstructed views they were trying to figure out how obstructed the view was, right? To kind of price anyone back there, open them. So there were a lot of tickets kind of behind the stage that could have been up for grabs, and then tickets kind of around the stage as well.
Okay, so
potentials.
Ticketmaster folklore, which may or may not be true, is the hope and the prayer that we're hanging these already purchased plane tickets on.
Right, because we are actively watching.
What is the going rate of resale tickets at Taylor Swift at this point?
Oh, I think it really depends. I can tell you in our experience, we didn't see...
Bottom bowl.
Bottom bowl was like averaging about like $1,200.
A seat.
When we originally bought our bottom bowl tickets, they were, I think like $249 for like the lower. Yeah, we were in lower bowl,
mm-hmm.
like not floor, but lower bowl.
Right.
Yeah. So quite a big markup. Quite a big markup.
So tickets purchased, eyes wide open that the resale market rate's $1,200 a ticket for a seat that would be an amazing experience.
Exactly. But we're also armed with all the knowledge of the Swifties who came before us on this tour. There's an amazing network out there of people who are like helping people understand when Ticketmaster is going to drop these tickets potentially, kind of based on the cadence, and tweets out the word go, and you just have to go, and you click and you click and you click and you click and you hope and they get in the queue and you buy the tickets. So that is something that's been happening, and they've kind of changed up a little bit how they've done it. So everything's in flux, but everyone is really like, they're like, this is the opportunity for Ticketmaster face value tickets. And the hope is that it's only fans that are able to get in and buy those, and they don't get bought by bots and like pushed out.
So through an amalgamation of multiple social media platforms,
yes,
you all come to this understanding of possibilities that besides having to go to the resellers.
Exactly. So that is the only way to do it. And then as far as resellers go, there's also people who track kind of when prices spike and when they drop in front of individual concerts, and kind of what you can expect to see for pricing. So like the morning of the event, don't buy tickets because they're about as high as they're going to be. As you get on later in the day, like as long as people aren't rush buying them all at once, you're going to see them like go down and go down and go down. And if you can miss the opener, like you're in for way cheap because people are just desperate to get rid of these tickets at that point. So there was like some like, here's some information about that. Here's where the fee structure is better for you, like all of these different things. Here's how to tell if people are scamming you with tickets.
Okay, so you all were armed with some hearsay,
yes,
and some proven tactics.
Yes, exactly.
And we're approximately 8 to 3 days out at this period of time.
So about at this time, so we're gathering the information, but knowing that nothing really is going to happen until probably like the Thursday before the concert.
Okay.
And this is where you come into the story, Christopher.
Awesome. Thursday comes around. Boarding passes are getting checked on apps so Sarah can come out, right?
Yeah.
So it's like
we're like washing the sheets, getting everything ready. Yeah.
So Thursday.
It's the first day that a potential Ticketmaster drop can happen. And we know this based on the Twitter accounts and the historical data. Thank you, Swifties. And I have a doctor's appointment. And so you, my dear, were on reconnaissance for us. So we got to log into Ticketmaster, and you refreshed until it became clear there was not going to be a drop that day for tickets. So no additional tickets were available.
So Thursday passes. No one's still panicked.
Nobody is still panicking. We're just like, that's fine. We'll try again tomorrow. So the next day, I'm there making friendship bracelets, just truly being like, we're going to will this into existence. Just sitting there, waiting for Ticketmaster to drop. We've been refreshing for like hours at this point, just sitting there, and then like FaceTiming and everything. And then it happens, and they would get the go, and you jump in the queue. And it turns out Ticketmaster has done something that's like really cool. But it wasn't in our favor for getting tickets.
And this is Friday night.
They've locked it to people to accounts that originally had Seattle as one of their top picks for the city, which I love. I think that's a great thing that they're doing. I did not have Seattle as one of my original cities. Neither did Sarah. So we were unable to like get into tickets. We were like, oh shoot, like if that's how it's going to be, we're not going to get tickets at all. And so Sarah starts talking to people on Twitter, some who definitely were a scam and some who like might not have been, but might have been really bad at technology and could not make Venmo happen.
So wait. You didn't bridge me there. So Sarah is on Twitter.
Yes. So Sarah's on Twitter.
Like communicating back and forth with resellers?
Yes.
Okay.
With people who are like, I've got tickets. And she has like done the work and been like, hey, here's some tips on how to get people to weed out scammers, essentially. Like, ask them to send a video of them doing these things. And then she got a video that like they did those things, but then they couldn't figure out Venmo. And then they kept sending us, I don't even know. It was bizarre.
So let me just take a little half step here.
Yes.
I walk in and out of this conversation
for hours.
This phone call was hours and hours long. Jillian's in the kitchen. So I walk, I get a snack. I walk by it. It's happening. I walk away, get a snack when I feel like it's a long time later. This is still happening. And I'm hearing all of this, but not being a participant in the conversation at all. And I was asked for an opinion of, what do you think we should do, Chris? And this, everyone, is a lesson for you. When someone you love and that you trust is about to make a bad decision and it doesn't harm their life, you just go ahead, let them make that bad decision. Don't tie your name to it at all. But every single one, in spite of Jilly giving everyone grace, everyone was trying to scam them online.
I don't know. That one person had us pretty convinced. So if they were either the best scammer in the world or the worst scammer of the world, because they did not get paid. Ace does not agree. So, anyways, now we're
just hours, everyone. I can't stress to you enough. Hours dealing with incoherent internet thoughts of other people that are trying to take money from them.
It's all good. It was a lot more than that. We checking out Ticketmaster, all those things. But now the panic is starting to set in because we are now less than 24 hours away from the first show. And Sarah's getting on a plane like in the morning, and she was coming regardless, but it was like, okay, by the time you get off planes, we're going to have some sort of decision made on what our next 2 days are going to look like.
Okay. Also, let me put a data point in here because it's getting real. It's late Friday night.
Yeah.
In Seattle, because I wouldn't say that we are by any stretch of the imagination like real residents here. Like I still feel like I'm visiting. But somehow, some way, like public transit Armageddon, public event apocalypse happened in Seattle this last weekend.
Yes.
And so this is, can you tell everyone like everything that was happening?
Yeah. So Sarah sent me the first one, then I started getting a lot of them about like, here are all the things that are happening in Seattle this weekend. So on top of the Taylor Swift conference,
which shuts down towns.
Yeah. It shares the Lumen Field where it was held, shares like all like parking structures and is right next door to the.
So the football field's next to the baseball.
Yeah. And there was going to be a Blue Jays Mariners game there. And one thing about the Blue Jays is that they're like right across the border. And there's a lot of people that come in from Canada to support them. And people say it kind of feels like a home game for them too. So, which is kind of fun. But there was going to be a lot of extra people in the city because of that. There was also a block party. I think it was the Capitol Hill block party.
Yeah, like shut down a part of the city size block party.
Yeah, kind of like Kilby Court for you Utahns. And then there was like an event by the Space Needle called like Tate Bite of Seattle or something where we walked through it yesterday. Like a bazillion food vendors and like a bazillion and a half people.
And then one of the major interstates that connects Seattle to another critical part of Seattle was all down and rerouted.
Yeah. And so they were like, parking is going to be an absolute nightmare. So I started looking for like, all the parking for the concert was already sold out. I started looking for like parking near it. And it was like $124 to be like nowhere close. So I was like, you know what? I bet if I get early enough if I park close to the airport on somewhere that the line that connects the airport to downtown is.
So the train line, everyone.
The train line. I can go pick up Sarah. I can go downtown for most of the day. Like, I'll park there, go downtown, pick up Sarah, and then we'll go back. Or we'll drive home. We'll figure out what to do, like, depending on what we were doing.
Okay, so let's recap up to this point. Because this is the, like...
morning of.
Painting the picture. So this is morning of, but this is painting the picture of the story. Hope and a prayer. Some TikTok instructions.
Yeah.
City gridlock, like city shouldn't be moving.
Yes.
No tickets, no line to get tickets. Like everything's working against you at this point.
And I'm getting a little nervous. So like morning of, Sarah's getting ready to go. She literally texted, and the only bag she brought was like her concert bag, and she had like a change of clothes in it. And she texted me, she's like, with a change of clothes and a dream. And she was on her way.
For those who don't know what a concert bag is, because I did myself.
Clear bag, yeah. Clear backpack.
Clear bag for security purposes when you go to a large stadium, right?
Yes. So she was on her way, and we were texting. Like, I was looking at seat prices every free second I could once I got downtown. So I got downtown about 10 a.m. I think I got like 9:55. I was like pulling up, parked in the parking garage. Was so glad I got there hours and hours and hours before the 6:30 concert because parking was almost full already at that point. I rode in with so many people who were like, yeah, we weren't taking that chance. So it was crazy. I grabbed like a cute outfit and just stuck it in my bag and just took off for downtown and was like, I'm just going to find a place where I can charge my phone and re-click on these sites. And I am dedicated to this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Swifty, glitter point number 1.
Yes.
Little girl.
Oh.
Between
yeah.
parking and the cafe.
Yeah, this was really adorable. So there were, like I said, like a lot of Swifties kind of getting into the
Just get into town
with me. And one of them was this really cute little girl. I would put her on like kind of between 5 and 6-ish years old. Super, super cute. And I wasn't dressed up or anything. I just looked like, I was just looked like myself. And she came up to me in her like cute little Taylor Swift shirt. And I was like, oh, are you going to the concert tonight? And she was like, yeah. And then she was like, I like your hair because my hair is pink. And I was like, thank you. And then she like held out her arm. She was like, do you want a friendship bracelet? Which for those of you who don't know, friendship bracelets at this Taylor Swift concert, people make them and they trade them with each other. And it's very sweet and cute. And I was like, yes. And everything for the concert was back in the car. And I was like, I don't have any to give you right now. But if I see you at the concert, you can have 2. And she was stoked on that. And I was like, oh, I hope 1, I get into the concert, and 2, I find her at the concert. She's so cute. She gave me, and she told me it glowed in the dark, and I kind of doubted it, but it does glow in the dark. Turns out she's not lying to me. And it says Starlight on it, which is really cute. It was like clearly made by a 5 or 6. It's so cute. So that was adorable and just set the whole mood for the whole day. The city was filled with Swifties and Canadians. It was lovely.
All right. Refreshing sights. Still, like, T minus, what, like 8 hours?
Yeah, probably at this point, 8 hours.
So 8 hours.
Yep.
Sarah's still on a plane. You're refreshing anything that you can.
Yeah.
No chance of even a ticket at this point.
There are chances of tickets.
Unless you go market price, so market reseller price, which is what you were trying to avoid this entire time.
Yeah. And everything to add, all the tickets that had dropped the day before from Ticketmaster were for those really obstructed seats behind the stadium. And they were originally $49. We were seeing them being sold for like $800 right after, which is really disappointing. You're like, oh, geez.
To see a big screen, because they put a projector and all sorts of stuff up for those.
They did
ones, right?
Yeah, they absolutely did. But like, just like those were about $49 ticket, right? That's about how much I would have paid. So I thought for those, and then. Yeah, it was just crazy to see him. So Sarah, as she's getting on the plane, I'm like, I need to know, like, if you're not gonna have service and we are looking for tickets for either day at this point, like, what is your strike price? And so she decided $250 for obstructed views. There were those $49 ones that we were talking about, and then under $1,000 for anything else. And she's like, are those prices insane? I was like, at this point, like, we're just sending it. Like, we will do it the best we can. Yeah, but I agree. Like, those are our upper limits for sure. So I have these things. I'm refreshing. Nothing. She gets off.
Is this noonish? What are we talking?
This is noonish, and so she has a layover. We're looking. We're trying to do things.
You would, if you had tickets, you'd be 5 hours away from going to the stadium.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And Sarah texts me and says, like, her friend's cousin might have been a verified fan in Seattle. So he might be able, if we use his account, we might be able to get tickets, for like if Ticketmaster does another drop, because we'll be in Seattle, so now I have his Ticketmaster account and my Ticketmaster account open, and then trying to toggle between different, like all the different reseller apps too.
How
And we're just not
stressed
finding
out were
anything.
you?
So at this point, I'm not. I'm like, oh, we're like noon. Prices are still really going to drop.
I was going to ask you another one, but that was great.
Sorry. Go ahead.
If anyone knows Jillian, and I'm talking like really knows Jillian, her devices are always at about 4% charged.
Yes.
And so not
If we're
only
lucky.
is it a refresh tickets, it's a race against 4% charge
Yes.
time constantly in her life.
Always. Always. It is, that's real. But that's why I sat my butt down in a cafe and had like all my chargers plugged in to prepare for this. Still nothing. Okay. And I was like, okay, now Sarah's getting on another plane. I am, she's like half an hour away from getting on another plane. I'm like, okay. And this time I'm going to go just like head into a little bit more into the city. I'd kind of gone out a little bit to sit in a cafe. And just like I'm going to try to go nearish the stadium, see if there's anyone like selling tickets on the street. Right.
Yep.
So I like head out there and, like there's a little scuffle that I see, and somebody's like, oh, this guy is selling tickets over by the Target.
And so, for anyone who hasn't been to Seattle, the Target is relatively downtown.
Yeah.
Is how that would be classified.
It's like a handful of blocks from
and
Pike's
it's probably
place. Pike.
10 to 15 city blocks away from the stadium.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit away.
Yeah. And I'm near Pike Place at this point, and so I just like I'm in a dress
Like 2
and
or 3
like
blocks
tennis
away.
shoes, and I just book
Yep.
it as fast as I can to the Target. And there's a guy there, sure enough, and people are kind of around him, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sold out. Go to the stadium." And so I'm like texting Sarah. I'm like, "Okay, Target guy is sold out. I need to go and get boob tape anyway, so I'm gonna go do that, and then I'm gonna go to the stadium and see if I can find us tickets." So go in. Target employee I asked looked like I had grown like 7 heads when I asked where the boob tape is, because I could not find it in the aisle that it was supposed to be in.
That's right, everyone. She is saying boob tape.
Boob tape, yes, because I was going to wear a dress and it needed a little tape. And she was like, "It is sold out." And I was like, "Okay, sorry, should have guessed." So I went and got some.
How dare I show up to a Target last minute for boob tape?
So I ended up getting double-sided stick tape and just like praying that like this was going to hold up. Spoiler, it did not. So I then book it to the stadium as fast as I can, and it is a complete vibe. They're having a sound check. There is a merch line about 4 miles long, and I cannot find a single person selling tickets. Not one. Not one. And Sarah is now back in the air, and she's like, "You know the strike prices. You know when the things are going to drop.
You know what to do."
Exactly. She was like, "Carry on, soldier."
I have a pair of underwear and a clear bag in my back.
Exactly. So I was like, okay, we got this. So at this point, I'm laser focused. I get back on the train, ride, go put on my outfit, try to stick the double-sided stick tape to me on this dress that's just ill-fitting. Like get as much glitter on my body as I possibly can, and then get in the train.
In a parking garage.
In a park, correct. Making people mad because they thought that I was backing out. Remember, there's no parking in the whole city, and I had to keep being out and being like, "I'm not leaving." Keep trying to find a space. I'm so sorry. Go to the airport. I'm a little early for Sarah to be getting there. This is now like, I got to the airport, I think, at 4:30. And so any second, Sarah's getting in at 5:30. And any second, the tickets are going to drop ostensibly from Ticketmaster. If there's going to be a second drop, it's going to be then.
If the math holds up.
If the math holds up, it'll be...
This is what we expect.
Possibly, they were like, probably for Sunday is
Right.
what the guess was.
And it's like $1,200 tickets turn into what in that instance? Are they more like $600?
No, so they would be like those $1,200 tickets I talked about, like kind of where we sat. We bought them for like $240 something. So it would be $240 something.
Okay, they would eventually just get down to face value is what the math says.
So those Ticketmaster ones would only be sold at face value ever.
Okay.
Ever. Yeah.
I was talking about even what resellers, because I thought
no.
that was the tactic. I'm sorry, I crossed them up.
No. So we were trying to get back into the Ticketmaster and only play face value. So now I'm sitting at the airport with like my phone connected, my iPad connected, and just sitting there and refreshing and not seeing anything happening, toggling back and forth between all the reseller apps and then Ticketmaster and Twitter to like make sure that I hadn't missed the notification that like Ticketmaster done the drop. Get the notification that Ticketmaster does a drop. I'm able to get it on somebody's account, the guy who had the Seattle Things account. But it turns out he didn't actually have Seattle, and it kicked us out pretty quick. And then a bug happened, and I was able to add 2 floor seats for like $340 into my cart each. They were like kind of back and like in the very weird corner. And then
But floor all the same. Okay.
And they were gone. I couldn't check out with any seats I tried to get. So unfortunately bots had gotten them all like within seconds of them dropping. So then I'm like texting Sarah, giving her a play-by-play of this the entire time. And I'm like, I don't know what to do at this point. We're not seeing anything in our price range.
And we're at like T-minus Taylor at this point.
This is like 5:10 now. I'm sitting there. My boobs have already popped out like 5 times at the airport because this tape is not working. I'm sitting underneath. You can charge these things, and I got so tired of standing, and I crawled underneath it. So I'm just a mess at the airport, like refreshing, and I'm like, I don't know what we're gonna do. Sarah lands like 15 minutes early, this is the beginning. Okay, back up. A little bit about Sarah. She's one of the truly most magical people I ever know in my entire life. We together are very lucky with Taylor Swift things, but I was pretty doubty at this point that this was going to work.
And you were just consigned to we can vibe.
I was like, yep, absolutely, we can try on Sunday. Like, today would have been the ideal day to go, but we can try again on Sunday and just vibe tonight. And so, like, I'm texting her, and all of a sudden, like, I can see the messages are delivering, and she gets off the plane, and she's like, I have these tickets in my cart, and we can see that they are tickets, and they are below our price range and where we are.
Yep.
And we were like, okay. I was like, yes.
Hit that button.
Purchase them. So she bought them. And we were beyond stoked. And they were floor tickets.
So we went, hold on. We went from can't get tickets at all.
Yeah.
To Sarah magically having some in her shopping cart.
She saw them pop up on a reseller.
Okay.
And she was like, that, to have floor seats under that, I don't know if we're going to see, because we saw all those floor seats that had been purchased by the bots drop, and it kind of brought everything up again. Okay. So tickets, the obstructive view tickets were still at $500, like 500 plus. And then we were seeing like nothing else. So these popped down.
Okay. So 5:30 in the afternoon, concert starting in an hour.
Yes.
Happen to click a button, happen to get it in a shopping cart, happen to be below the, like, we can pay up to this much value, and everyone on the floor.
And so I'm just like, what? Like, this is crazy. We're going to the concert. All of these things lined up where we didn't think that they were going to.
Recap. 9 days.
Yeah.
Someone put it into the universe that you want to try something out with me?
Yeah.
You want to have a little fun?
Yeah.
To 1 hour before the concert.
Yes.
Have tickets, can get in, can see Taylor Swift on the floor.
Yes. Sarah is like buying them getting off the plane. She has like landed the jackpot where I have not pulled a single trigger because I've not seen anything below our price range. And I was like, and I'm not going above it without talking to her.
This alone is already like the Hollywood movie.
It's amazing, right? We like to pull up and we find each other, we hug each other like in a movie, and then we like take off to go like get on the train.
Right, because at this point, everyone, remember, they're at the airport. They still have to take the train back into the city.
Yes.
So that they can go walk to the venue.
Yeah. So we do that. We're there and we're freaking out. We're like, we can't believe this is happening. We can't believe that like we got ticket, like all the things lined up and this was great. And we like take the train in and we're going in and they have this like cute little a separate entrance for if you're on the floor. And so Sarah was like twirling going in and it was magical, really short merch line. We got in, and we could like kind of hear that the openers were playing still, like got some merch and then headed in like right.
This is where the movie typically ends, everyone. Just
exactly.
let me pause.
Oh, sorry.
This is where everyone sits there and says, oh my gosh, all the build up. Here's the happy ending. Roll those credits.
Exactly. Right.
This was amazing.
Like victory. We did it. We did it. Like against the odds.
Fall Summit, everyone.
Fall Summit.
Just wait.
Yeah.
Wait for this. So going in to see their seats.
Yes, going in to see our seats. And like Sarah is telling like everyone that we're talking to in the merch line and everything, she's like, we didn't have tickets an hour ago. And people are like, what? And so it's already like, I'm sure there were people that went home and told people about the girl that flew in and did not have tickets and then ended up on the floor. And it is a beautiful thing. So then we're looking for our tickets and they're like, okay, like over here. You're this way, you're in this row. And we had seen we're row 8. So we were like, oh, that's amazing.
Row
we're
8
going to
on
be
the floor.
So close to her. It's going to be so good. And then we're going down row 8 and Sarah turns to me and she's like, Jillian, we are seat 24 and 25. And I was just like beat bop. And I was like, okay, that's great. It's weird that all the seats don't have numbers. You have to count by fives. So just absolutely vibing and not paying attention. I soon realized what she was trying to convey to me. The stage bumped out. And so, although we were row 8 of like parts of the stage, we were the front row of the part of the stage we were at.
A concert that has been sold out for over 9 months. A fleeting idea 9 days before this concert starts that's been sold out for 9 months. Somehow, some way, come across tickets that are affordable. Somehow, some way, actually get them. Oh my goodness, they're better than the seats that you had when you actually bought tickets the last time. And it just happens to be that some fate of architecture puts your seat on the front row of the most like sought out concert next to Beyonce, I guess.
Yeah, give Queen Bee her due for sure.
You got front row. You had nothing but a fleeting thought. And you somehow, you were the person that takes a paperclip and trades it into like a multi-million-dollar house.
But Chris, it's another Fall Summit.
Continue and tell us why.
Okay, so we're freaking out, and we start talking to the people next to us. They have all just bought their tickets too. It was Ticketmaster added all those seats as front row seats after the stage was built, and thank you, Ticketmaster. That was great. You made up for some of the bad things.
You may deserve your bad rap, but this was awesome.
This was great. So we are absolutely losing it. Front row right here.
Like the stage lights are in the way. That's how close you are.
Yes, we are front to front with all the bouncers right in front of the stage. We are not allowed to have our water bottles or like any of our drink cans. We have to pour them into glass cups because we're that close and they don't want anyone throwing things on stage. We were like, okay, this is fabulous. The show starts. It is the most amazing thing.
So miss the openers.
Well, yeah, we missed the
Everyone.
openers. We got the last song of Haim, which I really enjoy them. But we did get to see them later in the show. They came out and played with Taylor. But yeah, missed the openers, but like slid in, had time, made it downtown all the way into the concert, did not miss a note of Taylor Swift. which was amazing.
Front row, and tell us
row.
the summit that we still need to get to.
So concert is going. It is magical. I am sobbing for huge portions of it. She added Speak Long Live from Speak Now to her set list, which wasn't there before. And it's such a song about like long lasting friendships and kind of overcoming the odds. And so Sarah and I were sobbing. It was just like a very beautiful moment. And I can't even remember what part of this was. It was beautiful. It was magical. Taylor was literally right there. I could see up her nose. Sarah was like, I could see her pores. We were. She was like booty shaking right in front of us. She made direct eye contact. We were dying, like screaming hysterically, dying. It was so magical. And we were also right by where she plays her secret songs. So we
help everyone.
Okay.
Just a half step into that.
So every one of her concerts, she plays an acoustic set, like a guitar and then one on the piano, of some of her songs. And she really doesn't repeat them. Sometimes she does, but she really doesn't like repeat a lot of them. So every city kind of has their own set list of
like a mini
songs.
set list, right?
Yeah, and so people are like, oh, I'd love to hear it, because it's sometimes like some of her more popular ones that aren't in the lineup, and sometimes they're like the really random bonus track from it. So you kind of have a chance to hear whatever. And her piano set was right next to us, so we got to watch her like microscopically close to us perform a song that she doesn't perform live, and it was one she does with Ed Sheeran that I never thought I'd hear because it's a duet, right? And she did it. It was beautiful. So it was great. But
there's more.
At one point, we watched her I think it was after the set. I can't remember exactly. But at one point, after she plays guitar, we watch her kind of like lean down and do something. And a sound guy comes, like they dim the lights, whatever. Sound
guy working the concert,
one of her crew comes up. Like I noticed him like come up because he was like intently walking. And he intently walks directly to Sarah. Like he has to come around a corner, walks straight to her, and he hands her a guitar pick. And then he sees I'm with Sarah, and he hands me a guitar pick too. So he's giving us Taylor Swift's guitar picks, and we are dying. And they were album themed. Sarah got Midnight, and I got Lover. Lover's my favorite album. Midnight is way up there for Sarah as well. Like absolutely perfect. Handed them to us directly. Like, here you go. So let's recap.
I wonder how many people have just been like, the BS meter has been just so high, right? So high. I gave you the front row seat. Like I'll let that happen. But there's no way she looked at you, and there's no way she directed someone to go give you a memento. I
don't think she directed anyone. I think it was just Sarah's good vibes coming through, and the sound guy was like, that's the girl getting it. So
it wasn't the two girls singing off pitch as loud as they
can and as screamy as they could. It was so good. So yeah, it was an incredible. The rest of the concert was just beautiful. There were things that were different from the first night, that were like big. There were things that were different from the first night that were small. There were things that I'm really excited about because I'm like, oh, I think that changed. Like, is that an Easter egg? What's going on? Yeah. So it was the best night. It was incredible. I'm really happy I got to do it. I'm even happier that it was with Sarah. She is really magical in so many ways, and I'm so grateful for her as a friend. And I got to spend some extra time with her yesterday, which was without stressing, which is amazing. It was perfect.
Yes, everyone, this is the most unbelievable weekend I've ever seen, all come together at once. And we did pause all the rational thoughts of anything that we could discuss to make sure that everyone heard this unbelievable story.
Yes, I really wish Sarah had been here with us to like discuss it because I'm sure she has a whole different point of view.
Oh, but a tight 36 didn't let her stay.
Tight 36 didn't let her stay. It was amazing, and I feel very, very lucky that we got to do
I'm gonna
it.
start drafting the screenplay. And we're gonna go shop this. What would you call this? Like tween movie?
Right? Like a Disney Channel original movie about two girls with a dream going to a concert.
To a famous concert of not Taylor Swift because they don't want to afford the copyright. That was still one of the most amazing stories I've ever heard.
It's pretty great. It's pretty awesome.
Oh, thanks for letting us talk about it. I hope
Thank
everyone
you.
has whatever Taylor Swift experience you want. And if you
Definitely.
have even any Taylor Swift experience, we'd love to hear about
Oh,
it.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Good or bad, or Trauma-Rama Taylor Swift. We take those too.
We will take whatever.
But this story was meant to be told, and we
Yes.
told it, and it will live on the internet now.
It will.
Anything to end with, Gigi?
No, thank you everyone for listening. Thank you for sticking through this. We love you a lot.
All right, till next week.
Bye.
Bye.